Hi, everybody. So today for writing, we are going to focus on the middle of our story. So just to review what we've learned so far, and I'll just go ahead and turn that over here. We're learning about narrative writing. We learned that the beginning of a story introduces who is in the story and where it takes place. Well, today we are going to talk about the middle of the story. And I have a piece of paper that I'm going to put up over the beginning. Let's go ahead and look at it. So, boys and girls, the middle of a story is where important things happen or a problem occurs. Okay, so remember a while back we talked about problem and solution. So that's the same with writing. All of our writings, our narrative writing usually has a problem or a solution. So today we're going to focus on the middle. And while I am writing the middle, I want you to also be thinking about what main events can happen in your story. What problem happens in your story? Okay, so let's go back and I'll start reading mine. We'll move that down a little bit. Okay, so my beginning, I used the transition words one day. Hannah, Zach, and Cassie were walking in a shady forest. And remember, I like to use those details to help the reader picture in their mind what I'm writing about. Okay, so now when we're writing the middle, we also have another list of transition words that are helpful for us to use. So, okay. So some transition words that you could use is next, then, second, after that, later, suddenly, or if your story, if it happens during the day, you could say later that day or later that night. Those are some good transition words that we need to add into our narrative writing. Okay, so I am going to use the word, let's see, let me look. I'm going to look at my story again. Okay, I'm going to use the word then, I think, in mind. So I'm going to go ahead and in my story, I'm going to start with then. Okay, and I'm going to use a comma after then. Take a little breath. And I'm going to, then Hannah said, and boys and girls, I'm going to add some speaking into my story, okay? Because my characters in the story are talking. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Then Hannah said, and I put a comma after my said, and then I use quotation marks around what she said. And those are just little teeny C's in the air. And Hannah said, I think that we should turn left onto this path. So then Hannah said, I think we should turn left onto this path. And then I put my period, and then I put some little backwards C. Those are quotation marks. That is what she said. Okay? So, also good writers, boys and girls, reread to make sure that theirs makes sense. So I'm going to do that now. One day, Hannah, Zach, and Cassie were walking in a shady forest. Then Hannah said, I think we should turn left onto this path. Okay. So that is the middle so far. And I have some more. I wonder if I can fit it on there because Mrs. Holman has some limited space. So I'm going to try to fit the rest on here. So I'm going to write next. So Hannah said, I think we should turn left onto this path. So the 3 kids went left. So that's going to be my next sentence. So the 3 kids went left. Okay. And they kept walking. I bet you can predict what's going to happen. They kept walking and walking. So what do you think happened then? What did they realize? They realized they were lost. And I'll put that down here. Mrs. Holman only has a limited space here, but I'm going to make it work. They realized they were lost. And I'm going to put a quote, an exclamation point at the end of that sentence because it's probably pretty scary to be lost in a forest. Okay. So boys and girls, this is my middle part of my story. So again, good readers go back and reread what they wrote to make sure it makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. One day, Hannah, Zach, and Cassie were walking in a shady forest. Then Hannah said, I think we should turn left onto this path. So the 3 kids went left. They kept walking and walking. They realized they were lost. Okay, so boys and girls, in my story, I told you about the main events, that they were walking in the forest, and then I introduced a problem in the middle. They were lost. Nobody wants to get lost in a forest. So, boys and girls, your job now is to use your writing from yesterday because you should have your beginning sentence done. And now I want you to come up with the middle of your story. What were the main events that happened in your story? Is there a problem in your story? What problem happened in your story? Okay, so remember, you're going to add on to your beginning, okay? You're going to use one of these transition words for the middle of your story, okay? And then you're going to write about main events or a problem, all right? Try to make the reader have a picture in their mind as you're writing, okay? Remember to add those good details. Okay, I can't wait to read these. So, good luck, and then the next day, we'll talk about the end of our story. Have a good day, boys and girls.